Hello everybody, this is Dr. Shijun Wang. In today's video, I am going to share some of my thoughts regarding to the audition procedure. We just finished this whole season of audition from getting our first applicant in October to having 4 weekends of audition sessions from January to the end of February, and then we send offers late March and then start to get answers if they're coming or not in the middle of April. So I just want to share some thoughts from the other side of the aisle, since now I am the professor. I'm trying to review the applications. I'm trying to convince or getting people to come here studying at Baylor. First of all, it is pretty common for music school applicants to audition for multiple schools. I know this is not common in some countries. For instance, from where I came from in China, you are only allowed to apply for one school of the same level. So people didn't understand how can you apply for like more than 10 schools for in some cases. That is just totally possible, and people tend to do that. Yeah, anyone who is graduating from high school knows that you don't just apply for one school. And since you're applying for a school, there has to be some factors that makes your decision, right? Maybe someone you knew applied and got into a school, or someone who studied with same teacher last year who got into the same school, or you get a master class with some professor and you really want to study with this professor. So naturally people would compare like how I play my Rachmaninoff compared to this person who got in. And very often I hear, so-and-so got into the school last year, but I think I'm better than him, or I'm at about the same level, then I will be getting into the school next year. Well, it's not always the case, and it's really nothing out of this unfairness. However, it's sometimes just pure luck, because how many openings in my studio or how many openings in the department of some university varies every year. So to put this very simple, we accept the same number of the graduates. So if I have 5 people graduating this year, then I will be taking 5 new students next year. And these numbers really is very hard to make them even, yeah, because different degrees has different years of studies. It's almost always 2 years for masters and 4 years for undergrad. But then for DMA student, some might take just 3 years, some might take 7 years. So when do they leave the school? It really varies. In the case of Baylor, last year, I called it a big year because we have 10 TA positions with full scholarship covered, with stipend of $7,000 per school year. We had 10 of them. But then this year, we only had 2 openings. It's a very tough year. It's a small year. So if you got into number 3, which is a pretty high ranking, if you got it last year, it would really be you're like one of our top recruit. We're trying to convince you to come. But this year, you're on the wait list. Yeah. So really, it's pure luck. Nothing you can do about it. However, if you really want to go somewhere and study with this professor, my advice is contact this teacher, contact the professor prior to the audition. First of all, to go somewhere to study with a teacher for 4 years, it's a huge decision. You don't want to make a mistake. Sometimes this person can be nice person, great player, good teacher, but it just the method doesn't fit, or you just happen to not like the way this professor teaches or communicates, then better know it before you make the decision. So contact the teacher, have trial lessons. Most of the time, the teacher will say, yeah, okay. So because the teacher also want to know the applicant, they want to know this person I accepted is going to spend 4 years in my studio. I better know this person whom I'm taking before just this audition. So it's very important to know the teacher, to know the personality, and also for things like how many TAs will be available this year, or how many full scholarships, or how much is the potential scholarship pool do you have this year. So all of these information, it's nothing unfair to share. Yeah, but then if you really have a personal connection with the teacher before, then you will ask these questions, and most of the time the teacher will tell you. And how do you know the teachers? Well, every school will list their music professors' contact information on the website. Yeah, that's the most direct way of getting it. And if you really want to know the teacher's teaching style, have a trial lesson. But really, I find it very, very effective if you just see the teacher's summer schedule. Yeah, we all usually teach in different summer camps, some long, some short. And if you happen to apply and get into the same festival, and then you met this teacher who teaches in some schools, then very convenient, you can just apply for the teacher since you already know the teacher. Well, I've listed my whole summer plan. In May, I'm going to Taiwan, and then in July, I'm going to LA teaching with my former Julia professor, and then I will be in Poland the second part of July teaching in the Euro Art Music Festival. So if you want to get to know me or my teaching style, or even any of the professors on that roster, you're welcome to apply. I will share these informations below the video. And well, for people who are trying to choose which school they want to go to, there are usually 3 factors you should consider: the school, the professor, and the city. You want to make sure, of course, the best combination is you love all 3. Yeah. So in this sense, a lot of the schools in the bigger city in New York, Juilliard School, New England Conservatory in Boston, it's really, they have very good teachers, very good reputation of the school, and also Boston, New York, or LA is great city. And usually musicians like to go to bigger cities because more population will be music lovers. They will appreciate what we do. And let's say you have very, very strong audition, you know whom you want to study, and then you got into the school. There is the next step, which is the negotiation. I always tell the students, this is like a marriage, right? You have to like each other. In the good cases, you have to like each other. It's a mutual decision. Before you got accepted, you might think, oh, I need the school to like me. But then for the capable ones, for the good students, they usually get more than 1 offers. So what you can do is that you can let the school to offer you a better deal by saying, let's say you want to go to school A, but then they didn't offer you enough money. But however, there's a school B who offered you enough, but then you want to go to school A. So you can simply just tell school A, well, I get 2 offers, but this one is a better offer. If you don't offer me more money, I will go to the other school. Yeah. And if the professors really like you and you're like on the higher ranking, then very possibly the school will offer you more money. So it's kind of like a negotiation stage. And let's say you got what you wanted. The wise thing to do after this is to tell the other schools you don't want to go. No, tell them as early as you can. Because usually the whole system, how it works, is that we have the ranking and then we have wait list, right? Let's say we want 5 graduate students. So number 6 will be our wait list number 1. Yeah, but like I said, most of good applicants, they will apply from multiple schools. So almost certain, we know the top 5 will very likely not all come. Yeah, it will be lucky if most of them come, but then if they turn down, they decide to go to other schools, it's normal. So we'll be contacting our wait list, number 1, yeah, which is still pretty good, yeah. So in this case, if the person who we offered the scholarship or the position told us early, then we can tell the wait list early, so that very likely we will get this wait list. That will also stop this person from being nervous, from agony, from worrying about where to go next. Yeah. So the earlier you tell us, the more relieved, or the earlier the happy news can be delivered to other applicants. And that is what I learned from the past many years of being a judge in the auditions. And yes, sometimes because of COVID, for instance, during COVID, there were no international students traveling, yeah, because most of the travels were impossible. So I actually get emails from a lot of good schools saying, we have TA positions, we can't get enough applicants. But then this year, 2024, it was terribly crowded. Yeah, because a lot of international students who couldn't do it in the past 3 years applied. So suddenly a lot of schools has 3 times, twice as much applicant, but then the positions are fixed. Yeah, so this is a really competitive year. I guess for next year it will be slightly better, yeah, because most people who are already getting placed, but maybe someone who waited even longer will start to send applications next year. But I really hope by sharing these informations, it will first of all help the applicant to better decide which school and which professor they want to study, and also if they understand how this works, which is nothing secretive. It's not a secret. It's usually, it's probably it took me 20 minutes to share this, but I don't think all the professors will have 20 minutes spare time to share with all the applicants. So this is how our system works in most schools. Yeah, even if you get waitlisted, don't feel discouraged. It might be just bad luck if you have way more applicants, or just patiently wait, or maybe ask the teacher, am I number 1 on the wait list? Am I number 10 on the wait list? It pretty much gives you an idea of how likely you will get accepted, or how many people you think will not come to this school. Then that's how big of a chance you will have. Well, I hope these will help you to better understand this whole procedure, and I hope that more people will apply to Baylor. We have great facilities, very good professors. We will have a new dean next year, but then the last year we've been blessed with a fantastic dean who is very supportive of all the works from students and faculties. I'm sure the new dean will be the same. So apply to Baylor, and leave me questions if you have any in the comments. And if you want to come study with me this summer, I will leave all the information below this video. Look forward to meeting you all.